Hi, and welcome to another one of my training videos. I'll cut right to the chase. I'm looking at possibly entering in a long trade coming up here. As you can see here, we've just had the price kind of coming back off kind of opening lower and kind of closing the gap. The gap was only right here where my cursor is now at about 736.80. Yeah, just basically had just basically the gap very quickly closed. A big little sell-off, but everything else was pretty positive. There were a lot of upticks on the New York Stock Exchange. Most of the sectors were going pretty powerfully, and yeah, there was a lot of volume and power towards the upside. Once the selling slowed out, now we're in kind of a trending mode. We're going upwards now. The question is, if I'm going to go long, where am I going to enter the trade? And I might not be able to find a good kind of exit point, entry point, I should say. But yeah, what I'll probably be looking for is we have very strong volume kind of on the upslope. Usually it's not a good idea to at least go against this, so I wouldn't be looking to short here. What I will be looking for is maybe a long sort of play. As you can see here, I've put in a trend line. This is just kind of, these two lines here just represent the overnight range. I think they're kind of useful kind of bouncing lines. They can give you, as you can see here, we just kind of hit the line here, as we can see, as we did an overnight. Just took it back a bit, and then bang, we pushed through with high volume. They can be useful just for, you know, looking for just like a trend line, just looking for simple bounces. As you can see here, the price is coming down. I'm actually going to look to enter at this price here, which is 39.30. The reason being that hopefully if this goes bearish, and as you can see here, we've got a little bit of after this initial spurt, we're just coming down. Hopefully this moving average will kind of dip down towards the zero line there, and we'll have at the same time price kind of hitting this 39.30 mark here. And once that happens, I think we'll be able to see, because of the volume and the strong chance of kind of a upward trend. Just the strong chance of an upward trend, trend day forming. The day before, we actually had, towards the end of the day, we had mostly, I'll show you on the graph actually, or I should say, I keep going on the graphs, I should say chart. Just coming in here. As you can see, this was yesterday here, and this is the trade kind of the bell range here. Just at the end, we just had a breakaway into another kind of mini bell range just up here. That's usually kind of a strong sign. It means there's been an adjustment. Obviously, the price was centered around this mark here, the 32.5, and that kind of changed. Towards the end of the day, they reassessed it. It's now about the 35.8. So as you can see, there's kind of a bit of a positive vibe going through the markets at the moment. What that means is I'm pretty much looking for kind of a long trade at this stage. Just in terms of there's more power, there's more momentum behind it. All the sectors look pretty kind of positive. I'll just show you. Here's banking at the moment, as you can see, open pretty strongly. Just holding back a little bit now, but that's okay. That's pretty much a common theme. I mean, retail also open strongly. Healthcare once again opening strongly, now pulling back a little bit, but once again pullbacks are good things. They have to happen. As you can see here, we're starting to get kind of a pullback. Why would I like it to go to this price? Well, as I said before, it gives me a good kind of risk reward entry mark. Even though it may just kind of blow up just here, and a lot of the momentum traders might pile on, which it looks like it might do. It's not a good risk reward for what I'm trying to do. With momentum trading, you're playing a very dangerous game, because you have to always time the market, and not just be right. You've got to be right at that specific moment. So it gets very difficult to kind of do it successfully. That's why there's very few kind of pure CCI traders who are profitable, because they give you 1,000 indications to get in, but a lot of the time it's just a whipsaw, which is a false reading, and it'll just snap back on you and you'll be stopped out. And you could be right in the trade. The problem is, with those trades, you can be right, but you can be wrong at the same time, if that makes sense. So you can be right and know that it's just kind of like a trending pullback, but you're wrong because you'd have to set your stop, X amount close, and your stop gets taken out, and all of a sudden, bang, it goes back up. I'm just going to pause it right now. I don't want this video to kind of go too long. I'm thinking this one might be a good candidate. I've actually made the window smaller. It might be a good one to throw on YouTube, just so ease of access and people can favourite it and that kind of shit. So I'll just pause it now and I'll try and keep this video under like the usual time. What's the max upload on YouTube nowadays? Like 12 minutes or something. So anyway, pausing. Okay, I'm just coming back now. I've actually decided I'm going to pull this kind of setup. I'm not going to make any kind of trade. The reason is pretty simple, just because of how price is oscillating. It's kind of come back and it's retracted and it's kind of going. You can see more clearly on the 1 minute chart. As you can see, it's not making kind of much of a momentum play here. Now the trouble is, it's not so much that I don't think it might not go, very bullish and kind of rise. It's more that I won't be able to get a good entry point. Like I said, I'd like it to come down to this area first, and then before I kind of take on the trade. The problem is, at this stage, if it does come back down here to this area, it's not going to be a good kind of high percentage trade. So I'm not it's like I'm not quite catching the rubber band as it's getting too elastic and about to snap. At this stage, the rubber band is still pretty how can I say this, still pretty loose, and I mean, I think it's going to snap one way, but it's not quite having that tension in that direction that it normally would. So to put it another way, I think if it comes back down here, I can't be as bullish, and that's what it's kind of starting to do now. As you can see, just here, it's kind of, I kind of get the vibe that maybe there's a change in sentiment coming over. You could argue that, well, why don't you go short? Well, the thing is, we're still seeing a lot of volume towards the upside and that kind of thing. We're seeing contradictory kind of indicators, all working on each other simultaneously. So it's putting me in a kind of position where, it's just the risk reward isn't going to be there. Just like I talked about in my last video. It will come back down to this mark here, but I wouldn't feel confident in going bullish, and I definitely wouldn't feel confident in going bearish. So this is the point where I say, okay, my setup, it's not working out how I like it to do. Obviously, we've got kind of a lull in the volume here. It usually happens, but there's not much going on. I'm going to put away my ego, and I'm just going to wait it out. We'll see what happens. And I could be right. It might come down here, it might come back up, but I just don't think it's the kind of trade I want to do. And there's plenty of setups throughout the day, and throughout multiple days. You don't need to trade, a super amount. For someone like me, I see a lot of setups going on. I see a lot of plays, so it's not important for me to kind of take every single lead. Some trading journals or books will recommend that you have to have the balls to go for everything, and it depends a little bit on your system. I think with mine, I see a lot of variety of different plays when I'm using these kind of basic price setups. So it's not really huge importance that I don't take this one. It's pretty marginal at this stage, it's the decisions it's the trades we decide not to make that determine us. So if I do look for another trade, I'll probably create a new video for it, just to kind of keep it spaced out and keep it YouTube friendly. And if I do make a new trade, I'll see you guys later.